Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that if you're returning. How you doing? All right, we've got a lot to talk about today, and so, grab your coffee, maybe a seltzer, definitely a snack. Snack. Reese's peanut butter cups. Let's get into it. So this picture was sent in to me, okay, and she said, I took this picture of the pasta aisle at my local Stop and Shop in Connecticut. Ooh. Jeez. All right, so every once in a while you guys send me tweets, right? And I don't have a Twitter. So I did my research a little bit on this, okay? And this is not the only tweet that's out there about this subject, all right? So this is what another of the tweets says. It says, odd behavior for heroic fossil fuel fighters. As reported, number 44 asked the board's permission for where he lives to install a 2,500-gallon commercial propane tank on their property. What do you need that size of a propane tank for, man? And it says, are they preparing for the apocalypse? Now, let me adjust my tinfoil hat here because, if somebody like us were to do something like that, oh my gosh, sound the alarms, red flags waving, okay? But this guy's doing it. So, and he lives on Martha's Vineyard. So someone had responded to him. He said, just preparing for the upcoming electricity shortage. Can't keep that AC running without a reliable generator. No, can wait. Yeah. So the tweet that I was sent says, do they know something that none of us plebes know? Well, obviously they do. So, listen, prepare however you want. Think of this what you want, but I did look for more of these tweets and people are talking about it. So here you go. Okay, so apparently there could possibly be a dock worker strike at the West Coast ports, while some issues that slowed down, like the supply chains, remember, okay, beginning of last year, all right, have eased. Now, new ones, they keep popping up, right, with the looming cloud of this dock worker strike at U.S. West Coast ports, including L.A. and Long Beach, all right? Now, labor talks between the International Longshore and the Warehouse Union and the Pacific Maritime Association began in earnest in May with a July 1st deadline for a new contract. Now, without an agreement sometime this month, it's approximate like 22,000 of these dock workers could possibly go on strike. So what does that mean for the supply chain? Well, once again, here we go. Another kink in the supply chain. There's 29 ports without staff to handle loading and unloading the cargo, preparing docks for incoming ships, mooring ships correctly, maintaining records, among other responsibilities. However, the July 1st deadline should be taken with a grain of salt because according to negotiators, both sides have indicated a willingness to avoid any interruptions as long as negotiations are proceeding well. So maintaining operations would be like a welcome news for supply chains, as well as about 60% of all imports coming from Asia are handled by ports on the West Coast. So what could be the possible issues for like potential port strike? Well, the key reason why a port strike could occur is the expiration of the latest agreement, between the ILWU and the PMA. And that may be a bit obvious here. As with any expiring document, each side may want concessions to improve the positions, while the PMA has touted competitive wages for dock workers in the existing agreement. Well, sure. Cost of living has gone up. If you're making the same wage, but yet your rent just increased by $1,000. You know what I'm saying? We're all feeling that. So now add in the fact that the ports have been especially stressed due to supply chain issues that rose during the pandemic, and workers may be experiencing or expecting some consideration for their efforts. So the last strike that was there was 2014-2015, and it was due to the same thing, expiration date of these negotiations. All right. So hopefully they can get these things worked out because, my goodness, with everything that we dealt with last year, we're still trying to recover from it. Look at all the canned foods that we're seeing in stores. I've seen the pictures. You guys have shown them to me. It's not. On to this. Did you know that 1 bushel of wheat contains 1 million individual kernels, or 60 pounds of wheat? I didn't know that either. A bushel of wheat can make one of the following: 72 pounds of flour tortillas, 67 loaves of bread, 42 pounds of pasta, 45 boxes of cereal, 42 pounds of white flour, and 60 pounds of whole wheat flour. Interesting, isn't it? And with that being said, this invasion has disrupted the global food supplies and driving up demand and prices for that wheat. But after months of drought, many western Kansas farmers they don't have a crop to sell. This time of year, the wheat growing in this part of western Kansas should be thigh high and lush green. But as a months-long drought continues to parch that region, many fields tell a very different story. The crops are dead. It's maybe ankle high, and it's like straw. Across western Kansas, many fields are planted with wheat months ago and now look like barren wastelands. The gaping spaces between rows of brown and shriveled plants reveal hardened dirt that's scarred with deep cracks from baking in the sun. And of all the years for drought to hit Kansas, wheat farmers, it couldn't have come at a worse time. Even with wheat selling for near record high prices, with the invasion in Ukraine disrupts the world's food supplies, a lot of farmers in Kansas, they literally have nothing to sell. Nothing. And those who made it through that drought with enough crop to harvest will likely end up with far fewer bushels than they had last year. A downturn that limits the state's ability to help ease the global food crisis. Now, wheat prices have bounced between $10 and $12 a bushel since setting an all-time record north of $13 just in March. So it might stand to reason that farmers should be able to make up for poor harvest by selling the wheat they do have for more money, but it's not that simple. The Department of Agriculture estimates that wheat fields statewide will average roughly 39 bushels an acre this year, down sharply from 52 bushels per acre just last year. But many farms in the western half of the state will produce far less than that. So these are things to take into consideration. I wish we could all grow it, but we can't. You know what I mean? So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe. You stay positive. You keep prepping. And as always, fearless.